Greetings, everyone, from 2K Sports as we get set to bring you some mid-season NBA action. This is Kevin Harlan along with Greg Anthony and Brett Berry. David Aldridge will be reporting from the sidelines. We've got an Eastern Conference battle ready to get rolling, and the Chicago crowd wants some love from their Bulls. You can see it all over the league. Injuries, Brent, beginning to affect some teams, but it's hard to pay your stars and maintain a deep bench all under the salary cap. It's a very difficult dance to do.
This is why sitting next to you as a broadcaster is a really less stressful thing to do, rather than be a general manager in the league. So hard to make.
But you could be a general manager in this league.
Maybe at some point, Kevin, but right now I'm enjoying this seat with you. And I'm wondering how it is that some of these teams can get creative with cap analytics guys and their strategy, how much they want to press forward given some of the restrictions of what you can do with your roster. But we know the more players you have that can step in and be ready, these deeper teams during the regular season usually pile up a few more wins than those that don't have that approach.
Now the starting group for the visitors. Here is Carter. He's coming off a 22-point game against the Spurs in San Antonio. Six to shoot. Off target from outside.
And close to making the defense pay for the lax coverage that time.
Out to the wing. Here's Francis, defended by Carter. Free throw line jump shot, and that one's good, Francis. Just around a minute and a half into the first quarter. Pass to Smith. Fires for three. No good on the shot. And it's Richmond's ball.
And on paper, you called them the better team, but they actually lost the season series against this group a year ago.
Carter left side. Down low. Young with the steal. And Richmond pushing it up now. He's now 1 for 2 with that bucket. Gone 1 of 3 from the field to start this one so far. If you're just tuning in, we've played about 2.5 minutes here in the first. Back to Smith. To the left side wing. For the three. Here's Perry. And the layup's good off the glass.
Great positioning on the glass, jumping all over that miss and sticking it back in.
For Richmond, they've gone 2 for 4 from the field so far today. Out to the right wing. Here's Francis, defended by Carter. That three off the mark. Gone 0 of 3 from three-point land. Nothing yet going outside. The pass to Perry. Knocked loose. To the inside. He dents the rim with a two-handed slam. Wow.
And guys got careless with the ball there, and the turnover leads to the big stuff.
Once he came up right with the steal, he went straight on the attack.
Terrific anticipation using the hands. How are you not protecting the basketball in that situation?
Now here is Carter. His scoring totals are something to take note of. He's averaging over 19 points a game. And then Carter with the jam.
And how about the execution on that play? The screen was set up in exactly the right spot.
And the finish wasn't too bad either.
Yeah, it's funny how you see so many picks, but this one sets up the defense well. No one rotates over. Bang.
Nice ball movement by Richmond. Shoots a three. Nailed from three-point land. He's got 8. Gone 50% from the field, hitting 3 of 6 since the opening tip. Just 5 to shoot. And then Carter with the jam.
Oh, why, dunk you very much.
He can really fly, and you combine that, Greg, with some nice penetration, too, and you've got 2 points. Here's Francis. He picked up 30 points in their last win against Utah.
You could tell the defense was really nervous dribbling or passing the ball anywhere near him in that one. He took advantage of their indecisiveness continually throughout the night, racking up 3 steals.
Now we get a chance to check out the standings out west. Already we're in December. You take a look at Richmond. They're holding on to second spot in the conference. A great season for them so far. Quite a few spots down the ladder right now.
And I think for Richmond, they had plenty of doubters before the season started, but I can't imagine there's anybody out there that's taking them lightly anymore.
Well, how could you? They're a team that's actually feared at this point, and that is legit. They go into every single game, no matter who's the opponent, and they expect to win.
So many teams switching the pick and roll, and we can see it defensively, what it does. How are offenses countering that?
I think the offense is what they're doing, Kevin, is being selective as to who it is who comes out to set the pick. If I'm Steph Curry or I'm Kyrie Irving, and I know there's a big defender guarding my 4-man or my 5-man, I'm going to call that screen up to the top of the key and make sure that I can go at the weaker defender that's guarding either one of my players to gain advantage.
Both teams will make substitutions.
And checking out the numbers for Young, how his last 10 games have gone. 4th in three-point field goal percentage. And with a top 20 ranking in field goal percentage, you put the ball in his hands, and he converts at a remarkable rate.
And yeah, he's one of the dead-eye sharpshooters in the game for sure. A top 5 percentage guy from deep. Just a hard man to slow down. Now, here is Miller. He's playing a pretty big role for him at the offensive end, averaging about 12.5 points a game. From outside the arc, first shot, first basket. He's out of the blocks fast.
You can blame some poor defense on that play, just a total breakdown. You got to at least contest at some point.
Here's Burton. Laid in with a nice touch off the glass. Burton's got his first basket of the night.
Got to give a ton of credit to the screener there. That was a perfect pick to give his teammate the space to knock down the shot.
Here's Miller. Off to a good start as he hits his first shot attempt.
And another momentum shift. These teams going back and forth all night.
Yeah, which team's going to find some consistency first? Neither one can pull away.
And he's fouled pretty hard on that shot, but he's got the chance to pick up the points at the line.
Really the right play defensively. If you can't block, force them to the line.
Richmond shooting their first free throws of this one. Taking 2 shots. And he makes the first. So he picks up just 1 from the line that time.
He was able to tie it up, but he has to be disappointed that he could not give his team the lead.
And while we've got a moment, let's check out the best defenses in the NBA.
This is a team that takes pride on the defensive side of the floor. I mean, they play hard and they play together. They are a tough group to score on.
First trip to the free throw line for him in this one.
An okay season at the free throw line for him so far, sitting right around 76%.
And the first one drops.
It's for granted.
On his coaches, Greg, and teammates love hearing that.
And how can you not? I mean, that kind of drive is special. And with his tools and potential, hard to put a ceiling on just how good he can be.
And this has been a fairly close game through the first quarter, and we'll see what happens here in the second. And looking at what we've seen so far, guys, from the visiting team, what do you think?
Cleaning the glass. I mean, right from the jump, and that really helped them to set the tone.
I think you said it. If you start off playing physical, Greg, there's kind of the attention of the referees and the opponent that they're coming at them all night long.
All fueled up and ready to go. Let's reset the lineups, courtesy of Gatorade, as the second quarter gets going. Setting the floor for Richmond. Here's Burton. He had an 18-point outing in the last game against the Utah Jazz.
And, guys, the other thing that he did well was just facilitate the offense, pass the ball around beautifully in that one, seriously put on a passing clinic.
6 on the shot clock. Richmond needs to get a shot off. Elbow shot. That's no good. Misses his first shot of the night.
I still love the shot selection. The defense wasn't really a factor. You need to be more aggressive guarding the mid-range.
Kicks to Miller. 16 feet away. He squares up and sinks it. Miller's got his second basket of the night. Richmond trails by 5. Guys, they're looking for a way to score here.
Yeah, they've had a tough time taking the lid off.
And Richmond decides to take their first time out here. One of my favorite moves is the Euro step. I know it's one of yours as well. There are a lot of guys that can do it well.
Well, I got to see Manu Ginobili step around me for years in San Antonio. But I think James Harden is still the most devastating Euro step player we have in the game. There's something about the lefties, isn't there, Kevin? We have a hard time figuring
they throw you off. They throw you off automatically just by the left hand.
Right.
Then they had the little side step.
James Harden with the shiftiness and the way he moves the ball around and draws contact. I know there are a lot of people that get aggravated by that, but he's nearly impossible to stop, especially when he's got his passport with the Euro step.
He slithers. It's good.
Terrific movement off of the dead ball situation and a great play to get the bucket.
Pass to Perry to the right side. And we're about 2 minutes into the second quarter here. Knocks it loose. In the corner, Smith with it. 5 on the clock. Off target from outside. Richmond trails by 3. Here's Francis. And you know the points will always be there for him. He's averaging just a shade under 20 points a game right now. And staying with the play, Valanciunas.
And those second chance points really become almost like bonus points when you can get them.
And the pass to Carter. Fader on the way. Bucket is good. Carter's got 8 points. We're just over 2.5 minutes into the second quarter. Pass to Valanciunas. Misses from close range.
The game has been very close in a lot of areas, but rebounding has been the one differentiator thus far.
For Richmond, they've gone just 2 of 8 shooting here in the second quarter. Here's Francis. Rebound by Smith. Gone 50% from the floor in the second quarter, 3 of 6. Out of bounds, Richmond takes possession. And a look now at Richmond's upcoming schedule. On Tuesday, they'll be matching up with Nikola Jokic and the Houston Rockets. Then on Friday, they'll go up against Devin Booker and the Phoenix Suns.
And looking at that Lakers matchup, this is what the fans have been wanting to see. 2 of the best teams in the league duking it out, and you know whoever gets the win is going to be viewed as the team to beat.
No good from Valanciunas. Last game for Richmond, they picked up the win against the Jazz in Salt Lake City. And just over 3.5 minutes played here in the second quarter. Here's Carter. Can't connect from 13 feet out. Richmond trails by 3. Puts up a 3. The offensive rebound. And foul on the shot, so he'll get a chance at the line.
You know, I love how he absorbs the foul and still had a chance to knock that one down.
For Richmond, they've gone 3 of 4 at the free throw line tonight.
Yeah, looking over their percentage on the season, I think they will be thrilled with the number in terms of their free throw percentage, 79.
The free throw drops for Valanciunas. Both shots good from the stripe.
Such a big bonus to have a big guy that can step up to the free throw line and knock down shots. So many guys struggle from there.
Carter on the wing. That's in. That's his 5th field goal. He's shooting a hot 71%. 5 for 7. Richmond trails by 3. Out left to the wing. Here's Francis, defended by Carter. The 19-foot shot. And he goes in for the dunk.
And what a gutty play. I mean, muscles his way to the rebound and then just pounds it home for the putback.
Well said, G.A. The battle on the boards, Clark, could go a long way toward deciding this game.
Well, especially when the game is this close, you recognize with your instincts the opportunity to help your team out. Just never flinched.
Richmond has gone 0-2 from deep here in the second. Pass to Francis. Takes a 3. Does not score again. That's his 4th miss against 1 make.
Yeah, this is a terrible start for him, and it has to be weighing on him.
The shot's good from Carter.
He's been on his A game, seeking good shots, and he's a huge reason why tonight they're winning.
3-pointer. Francis' shot is off.
Yeah, tough with his shot so far off right now. They're going to have to tap someone else to step up until he finds it.
Here's Weatherspoon. The teardrop falls in.
Yeah, that floater is a thing of beauty, effective when it's used the right way.
Richmond trails by 5. Here's Francis. He tries for 3. That's another one for him. His 5th in just 7 shots.
And that gets him going here in the second after hitting 2 from long range in that first.
Pass to Perry. Carter for 3. No good there. Richmond has gotten into trouble with the 3 ball in the second quarter, only hitting 1 of 5 attempts. And it's all evened up.
I mean, the number of points they've scored in the paint already here is eye-opening.
And so now the timeout taken by Tom Thibodeau. They couldn't put the pieces together, losing that last matchup with San Antonio.
You know, they're the visiting team. It's a loud arena, very distracting at times, but simply no excuse for missing a ton of free throws.
Yeah, it just looked like, and I'm not sure if you guys saw this, but just never comfortable in this game. And the line certainly is one of those places where that could show up.
1:35 left in the first half of the game. And it's Miller in the corner. A three-pointer off the mark. A chance here to retake the lead.
You can see the intensity on display here these last few minutes.
Here's Burton. He's certainly been a consistent piece of their offense, averaging about 14.5 points a game. Shot is good off the back rim and in. 15 points in the game. Gone 6 of 13 so far from the field here in the second quarter. King outside. There's 49 seconds left in the first half of the game. To stop the run. Rebounded by Richmond.
It looked like he wanted no part of that. Superb defense there, really making it tough on him.
To the inside. King with the steal. Now the fast break. King with the ball. Out to Miller. There's 18 seconds left in the first half. It's in. That's his third field goal of the game. He's 3 for 5. With 1 on the clock and no good on the last second attempt this time. Tie game in Richmond. And now we'll send it over to David Aldridge, who is standing by courtside. David. All right, Dave, thank you. And time now for the halftime break with the third quarter soon to follow. Right here on 2K Sports.
The 2K Sports Halftime Show.
We welcome you back. Ernie Johnson with Shaquille O'Neal, Kenny the Jet Smith. Quite the tussle there in the first half, huh? Looking at Richmond, Kenny, what did you see from them?
They played aggressive, lockdown defense. That was the main difference in the first half. Because when you come out and establish that you're going to play physical, that sets the tone for the rest of the game. On top of that, I think they showed more energy, outworking and out-hustling.
Shaq, let's get your insight on the visiting team.
They were really efficient, great approach offensively. Their shot selection was first rate. They were always working hard to get good looks. That can't change in the second half. They need to be just as well organized as they have been so far.
And that's all we have for now. Tell the folks goodbye, Shaq. Tell the folks goodbye,
Goodbye.
Kenny. Goodbye. Go to Kevin Harlan.
And we're halfway through this one. Plenty of basketball left in a game that's been fairly even so far. And Richmond shooting just 39% from the field, struggling to find that net. Here's who Tom Thibodeau is starting the second half with. The quick look, no good that time. Hitting 48% from the field, not bad at all. To the paint, and he goes up strong with one hand and flushes it down.
And he's an automatic finisher when he gets into that area.
He is, and he picks the simple one-hand stuff to get the 2 points. Here's Francis with the tip. Smith outside. Carter right side. It's good. The assist that time from Smith. Carter's got 14 points for the game.
You know, we talk so much about accurate shooting. Sometimes accurate passing can lead to great shooting. You saw it there.
And here in the second half of play, we're just over a minute in. It's good.
And defensively, this is the opposite of how you want to start the second half.
Yeah, it's like 4 teenagers at home over the summer, just not enough activity. You've gotten your rest. It's time to man up.
Now, just 5 on the clock. Here's Weatherspoon. The offensive rebound. There's the pass to Perry. He kicks to Smith. 5 on the clock. Over Francis. And it's Smith missing. For Richmond, they've gone 2 of 3 from the field to start the second half. Here's Young. And a kind roll that time off the rim as that one falls. Young's got his second bucket.
Yeah, 3 of 4 to start this half. Offensively, they've been great.
Pass to Smith. To the right side. A fadeaway. That one goes in.
And they've worked the ball around so well tonight for those quality looks from mid-range.
Young outside. To the middle. Here's Francis. And he banks in the layup. Francis has got his second bucket tonight.
Yeah, 80%. Is that a good number from the field? I think so. 4 of 5 here shooting. Terrific start.
And now we're 3 minutes into the third quarter of play. Here's Carter. And no good. Trying to use the glass. For Richmond, they've gotten 4 of their first 5 second-half shots to fall. 80% since the break. Young's shot is off.
Looked a little bit forced. No reason for it either. The defense was not even in the frame.
And he gets the whistle. 2 free throws coming up.
Clearly a foul.
First free throw is good. And Richmond making a change here. Valanciunas is checked in. And he can't hit the second. And Richmond shooting 43% from the field. Passes it to Francis. Just over 3.5 minutes through the third quarter of play now. Jacks up a 3. Buries it from three-point range. Francis has got the lead up to 4 now for Richmond.
Tough to tell what exactly happened to the D out there, but they simply don't look like they're engaged or even trying to stop their opponent.
Here's Weatherspoon. Rebounded by Richmond.
Really shocking he didn't take advantage of that golden opportunity there. He needs to be much better in that situation.
And that one drops. And it's a 6-point Richmond lead.
The ball movement on this run has been fantastic and is a big part of why they've been able to get these good looks.
By Valanciunas to the right side. Here's Weatherspoon. Lays it up and banks it in. He has 6.
Defensively, you cause the miss, but then you have to corral it.
Well, that's the second part of the equation there. Block out, be aggressive, and control the glass.
Timely passing leads to assists, and that's been the recipe for success.
Defended by Young. Pass to Perry to the left wing. From the arc. And it goes out of bounds. That one is off Smith. And here on the 2K leaderboard are the teams with the quickest hands in the league.
You can't get careless with the basketball against this group. I mean, they'll pick your pocket, and no surprise to see them in the upper echelon as far as steals.
Timeout called here. Richmond decides to talk it over.
And Kevin, he saw his guys just a little sluggish out there. Oftentimes a timeout like this allows you to kind of just reset.
Here's Burton. Covered by Miller. Kicks it to Valanciunas. Shot clock at 6. And yes, it's good. Valanciunas has got 8 points.
And not hard to see why they are giving up points on this run. Just too many good looks from in close.
Guarded by Valanciunas. King, right side. From beyond the arc. Rebounded by Richmond. Valanciunas has got his 6th rebound on the night. King against Young. There's the pass to Burton. Nice ball movement by Richmond. Here's Valanciunas, and now it's a double-digit lead. And it's a 10-point Richmond lead.
And there's a pattern starting to take shape here. They're working it inside and getting good shots from close range.
The 11-footer, and he sinks that one, hitting the back of the rim on the way in. 6 points for him. Richmond leading by 8. Pass to Burton. Kicks it to Valanciunas. 11 feet away, and another basket from Richmond.
He's been incredible in this half. Anytime he pulls up from outside, you think that's bottoms.
They've been looking out of sync offensively.
Yeah, their offense has ground to a standstill.
Stolen away. And the dunk by Valanciunas.
And that's the classic 1-2 punch right there. I mean, nice steal. And then how about the elevation, Kevin, on the finish?
And, Greg, nothing spurs some quick offense like a great play defensively.
Well, it fires up your teammates and the fans when you make plays like that out in the open court and explosive.
Solid as a rock from 20 feet away. 24 seconds left in the third quarter. Here's Burton. Clock at 6. And foul on the shot, so he'll get a chance at the line.
I mean, even from over here, you can see that one pretty clearly.
He's gone 2 for 2 at the line so far.
At the line for 2.
Shooting 2.
And the first one at the line is good. He's perfect from the line this time.1 second left. And he got that one up in time, but doesn't go in. And so it's Richmond, up by a dozen here at the end of the quarter. They've been putting on a clinic in the paint. Shots are falling with regularity, and they are pounding it down low. And we've got more NBA action on 2K Sports coming your way after this break. And now we have a moment to reveal our State Farm assist of the game.
And how about the big fella here showing us he's got some point guard skill here with the tremendous setup.
The passing for the team becoming contagious, this time involving the big.
And 1 quarter to go in a game that to this point has not been an evenly fought contest. 47%, pretty solid. Miller outside. Guarded by Valanciunas. Nice D from Valanciunas. Richmond leading by 12. Shot clock at 5. 17-foot shot on the way. Hits the front of the rim and out. And for Richmond, Miller, right side. Carter on the wing. This is to Miller. It's not going to go for him. And Richmond will go the other way with it. Defended by Carter. It's tipped. Pulls up on the wing. Rebounded by Richmond.
And that's really a function of the offense not working as it should.
Yeah, maybe lazy play calling or just going through the motions on that possession. This often leads to a bad shot.
Now here's Valanciunas. Passes to Burton. A baseline J. Richmond with a new shot clock. And it's good, 2 points. And Richmond leads by 14.
Pretty much all of their buckets coming from inside the paint now.
And one thing they'll discuss are the defensive rotations. The other is in the matchup.
We're seeing very little help defense on the inside, and even when there is help, it's been ineffective.
Okay, well, let's go down to David Aldridge for a report from the sideline.
Thanks, guys. I listened to Tom Thibodeau talking to his team during the break. He said, "Do you want this game? Don't tell me about it. Show me and show your teammates. We've got to play better, and we've got to play harder if we're going to come back." Guys.
Now, here is Miller. Feeds to Carter. And that one goes long. Richmond leading by 14. That shot is good. He has made 8 while missing only 4. That's 67% shooting.
And every move he makes looks like the right one at this point.
Yeah, shooting at a very high percentage right now. This one extending the lead.
Here is Miller. And Richmond pushing it up now. Off on the layup. gotten off to a rough start in the fourth quarter, going 0 for 4 so far. Lets it go from deep, bangs home the trifecta.
Love to see it when he pulls up from the outside. A big guy with tremendous range is a prized commodity in today's NBA.
Here's Burton. The jumper from the free throw line is good.
And they're scoring much more efficiently here in the second half, and they've gotten that field goal percentage above 50.
Miller outside. Out to Carter. Here's Weatherspoon. Sweet little floater.
That floater is a thing of beauty, effective when it's used the right way.
Richmond leading by 13. Defended by Carter. Pass to Burton. Beyond the arc. Carter pulls it in. Gone 2 of 7 from the field in what's been a cold start to the fourth quarter for them. Miller inside. Lays it up, and despite of the excellent defense at that. For Richmond, they've gone 3 of 8 here in the fourth quarter. Misses the 3.
And I wouldn't put it past him, guys, to eventually start hitting those, given what he did in the first half.
It's Miller on the wing. Goes back up. It's deflected.
This just doesn't seem to be his night, or his team's for that matter either. They got to pull it together here quick, or it's going to be lights out.
The pass to Francis. And 2 free throws coming up. Unable to get that one to go with all the contact. And he knocks down the first one. Game is so wide open now, Brent. Such a great pace. Does that put more strain on bigger players physically?
I think it's putting strain on everybody. I think last year we saw...
regardless of size.
Yeah, injuries to every position, the key guys at every position. I think that some of the physical motions that players have to perform in games because they're covering more ground and in susceptible positions, it's happening to everybody. The issue with the big guys, Kevin, is they're not playing. Less of them are getting more important time on the floor, so it's a strain on everybody.
Richmond leading by 13. Young outside. Here's Francis. And good work on the boards. They pick up the second chance points. Francis has got 4 points in the quarter.
Not a stellar first half, but he's become an absolute machine scoring the ball in the second.
And sometimes you just want a reminder of what our objectives are tonight.
Yeah, get everyone on the same page and pointed in the right direction.
And with his game closing in on the final buzzer, let's take a look at our Jordan player of the game.
Well, he's got his field goal percentage in the high 50s. And that says a lot about how well he's been able to kind of exploit the gaps in the defense. His motion, his ability to find open spots on the floor, you can definitely see the difference.
This is as good a game as we've seen him play. And this crowd can't get enough of it. When he explodes like this, it becomes a special atmosphere in here. Carter outside. To the inside. Harry goes to the reverse layup and drops it in.
That's some good interior passing, and that's how you move it on the inside.
Richmond has gotten off to an 0 for 2 start from downtown here in the fourth quarter. Nick Young on the wing. Nice ball movement by Richmond. Yep, that one goes. 21 points in the game.
Up by a bunch. He's still pushing the action, trying to impose his will.
Well, collectively, they've done it tonight here. A passionate performance from the squad.
And that one, good.
And those close-range shots are what you want him taking. They always have a great chance of falling.
1:56 left in the fourth quarter. pass to Francis. Just 5 to shoot. Latrey buries the long-range jumper.
Full speed ahead. I mean, they have been in control since the opening tip, and that may have sealed the deal.
I can imagine a lot of things right now, but a comeback, that's not one of them.
Now, here is Smith. Passes it to Carter. Over Francis. Here's Weatherspoon. Knocks down the 3-ball.
The defense cannot let guys get into that kind of comfort zone. You have to patrol the 3-point line or you risk getting burned.
Timeout called here. Richmond decides to talk it over. They're up by 13. 1:15 left in the fourth quarter. Valanciunas is checked in for Richmond. Young inside. Covered by Smith. Count it. And Richmond leads by 15.
And guys, what we saw here tonight is one side having everything going for them. Huge margin of victory for Richmond.
This was a very efficient offense tonight.
And they found a way to get their shots to go down. A little luck didn't hurt. A lot of their 50-50 shots fell their way.
And so looking at their number, this will be win number 22 on the year.
And against a conference opponent, always good to take that first win of the season series to establish a psychological edge.
Now, here is Young. Pass to Francis. Shot from 12. The shot, no good. There's 21 seconds left in the fourth quarter of this one. Carter, the pass to Smith. Carter outside. At the elbow, Smith. That one falls, coming off Carter's feed.
That's a gorgeous assist. Outstanding at finding his guys in the spots where they want the basketball.
So it's Richmond taking care of business in this one. Even early on in this one, it seemed like they were happy to be playing at home tonight.
And it makes a big difference. And once they started to really play in rhythm, you never felt like they had any doubts as to whether or not they were going to win.
It's time now to go courtside as we send you over to David Aldridge. David, thank you as always. And that'll wrap it up, folks. For Greg Anthony, Brent Barry, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan. Thank you for watching the NBA, presented by 2K Sports. We'll see you next time. Have a great evening.